Hello, 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 and welcome to another one line of code. I am One Lion, and today, and today Apocalypse is here on the scene. Oh man, hello everyone. Hi Mojo, you indeed were first, and Apocalypse is here. Thank you so much for showing up. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Had a great weekend. My weekend was so fantastic. I've been loving these weekends lately, hanging out with my wife, just enjoying and having fun. And I came back to work this morning, got some stuff done. Uh, yeah. So, as you can tell, I think I already said this like 16 times. Maybe I haven't said it yet out loud. But we are using Stream Beats for today's music because Soundtrack by Twitch has been turned off, discontinued, shut down. But we will be using a different provider. I don't know what they're called, music provider thing. So once I get all of that squared away with some assistance, some very, very helpful assistance, we will switch over to that as our music source. But for now, we'll just enjoy some Stream Beats by Harris Heller. Harris Heller? Is that your name? Harris Heller. Hello, Zaid. Zaid? Zaid? I'm getting things open still. I gotta get the financial management project open. We were playing with the calculator last time, but if you are interested in knowing what the stream project is, Zaid like paid. Or you mean Zaid like paid? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If I knew how to read, I'd be able to pronounce your name, right? Right. Still working on getting the app open. So the project that we've been working on the stream is a Blazor everything stack development project. It's like the everything bagel, except tastier. I know, difficult to believe, right? But this is an app that is intended to show off the standard best practices of doing a solo dev project, which could also be carried over into doing this type of project with a team as far as structuring code, using source control, just a bunch of stuff. Hello, Alt Knight. I hope you're having a great day so far. Good afternoon to you. It is still morning for me for another hour and a half. I am in Colorado, United States of America. It's hot in Atlanta. Oh, I called you Alt, didn't I? I can read. You say ATL night, like Atlanta. I get it. I know how to read. We already saw that with Zaid. I mean, Zaid. I kid. I kid. All right. Anyway, here's my desktop. I forgot to check. So I just had a Windows update, so there might be some minor hiccups. Let's go back to this scene for a second while I figure out which display is the correct display. It is indeed that one. Okay. So aside from wanting to just continue doing Blazor development on the stream, the actual thing that this project is supposed to do, that this application that we are developing on stream is supposed to do, is allow us to enter financial transactions manually. So we're tracking various financial accounts, such as a checking, savings, credit cards, loans, etc. And so we are able to enter in financial transactions like payments, transfers, and deposits and keep track of them so that we can have them stored in a database and do whatever we want with that data. I'm currently doing that with an Access database, and I'm not super thrilled with it. I've been using it since 2014, and I'm a Blazor web developer, just an overall .NET developer, I guess. So I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. I'm like, why not just do it as a stream project since I'm not able to stream my work product anymore? So that's where we're at. Now, what is the status of the project itself? Let's find out, shall we? .NET Watch? Oh, we need to trust the certificates again? Did they expire somehow? Oh, .NET Watch. Zaid says, I just moved back to Colorado a month ago from Las Vegas. So happy I skipped out on the heat. Do you feel like saying what area? Are you close to Denver? Are you close to Colorado Springs? Are you close to Fort Collins? Are you in the mountains? Are you a mountain man? Water? What are you doing so far back there? And of course, if you don't feel like disclosing that much information, then you definitely don't have to. No pressure whatsoever. East of Aurora. So south of the airport? Mm. Whoa. Way east of Aurora. Way east, I say. So I guess southeast of the airport. That's still pretty close to where I live. Like, the city is only 38 minutes away from where I live. City center? I don't know how Google tracks when you just put in a city name. Okay, so this is the financial management tracker. As you can see, we have a landing page, a login form that doesn't actually do anything at the moment, but it's there. And then these are all of our data entry forms so that we can enter our transactions manually. As I mentioned before, where we have payments. Payment transactions are cases where money is going from one of your accounts to some external source. Deposits, where money is going from some external source to one of your tracked accounts. Transfers are where money is going from one of your tracked accounts to another tracked account. Yeah, isn't it crazy? There are so many streamers that I know that live in Colorado. And actually, recently I found out about 6 or 7 people that I used to go to high school with that live in or have lived in Colorado, nearby Boulder or Colorado Springs or nearby. Colorado Springs is about 2 hours away, I think. Westminster. Crazy times. All right, so that's what all 3 of these do. We've finished all of the functionality for these things. We've been working on the lookup list maintenance. And I do want to be able to modify the list items in line, not in line, but from here. But for now, we have a separate page that we do all of our maintenance from, where we can add new items, which does work. We can edit existing items, which does work. And we have been working on deleting items, which is the very last thing that we need to do for this thing to be fully featured. We are able to look at the account summaries and filter this transaction history grid by the account that you click on. And then the thing that we were just playing with recently is this calculator where Max had provided us with a pure raw HTML, CSS, JavaScript calculator with some logic. So we adapted it and started putting it in Blazor. And the thing that I was doing was moving the logic over from C# to, or from JavaScript to C#. And in fact, I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I would like a period button. Instead of remove here, I'm thinking of maybe putting the backspace there. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave that as is because I would prefer to finish the lookup list maintenance logic and then we'll do the rest of the calculator stuff. So I'm going to put this in here as a separate branch, actually. So let me check in some changes that might still be related to this branch. I don't exactly remember why we commented this out. There was something going on with the source gen. So what happens if we keep it included? Are we still going to build? Estapu. And I guess while I'm waiting for that to finish, I will go ahead and create a work item for add a built-in calculator so that we have something to associate this calculator work with. Assigned to me. Project is this one. Okay, so once again, I am doing this in a way where you might be familiar with doing this type of workflow on a team where you have work items. Typically, it's either testers that are creating bugs or project managers that are creating features or stories or tasks or whatever else might be related to the project. And then you get assigned that work if you are one of the peons like me that gets assigned bugs, features, tasks, etc. Let's go ahead and create a branch from here. 32, add built-in calculator. Let me finish checking in this branch because apparently it's going to do something for me. So let's use this as our staged. And yeah, okay, so split out code behind. I will go ahead and commit and push. Then we'll bring these changes with us to main. And create this branch. So when you say check out locally, what do you mean? Are you actually going to try to open in Visual Studio? Because I just want to create the branch. I don't know why this doesn't have an option that just says create the branch, and that's it. Financial management. Hey, Scott, do you want to swap Blazor server-side rendering in the future? You know, it would be nice. Like right now I have it all. I have Blazor server, I have Blazor WebAssembly, and I have Hybrid. So desktop app with Blazor UI. So finding a way to have the app served as Blazor server initially until the runtime is downloaded would be optimal. And then for people with slow network connections, just having it Blazor server only would be nice. So like it'd be really cool if we're able to figure out how to control which hosting model, which Blazor runtime model, I don't know what to call it, is used. Oh, good. So it just gives me the command for checking out. Let me do a quick pull so we can get the branch list. Yeah, render mode auto is the most exciting, but again, it's not really clear on how it decides what to serve. and whether or not we can customize that. At least from the last time that I saw something about it, which was maybe 2 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. But yes, I am very interested in doing that and doing it on stream. For so, 32. Excuse me. Excuse me. Where is my 32? No, that's not what I'm trying to get to. Branch history. Wait, not branch history. It's still manage branches. Mojo says, do you know, or ask, do you know when the game is available for early access? I'm sorry, what? Oh my gosh. You're responding to the Stream Elements thing for whose? For whose game? Check out this awesome game by RTS. Oh, okay. Um, he has said that it was supposed to be the end of last year, but since getting a publisher, since Microprose is now publishing him, it got moved out so that he can bring the game up to standards, implement more, make it better, make it more fun. But I don't remember when he said it might be available for early access. But he definitely did say something about it, whether it was just to say it's postponed and with a TBD, or if he actually has a date in mind. So if he comes around, we might be able to ask him. Yeah, definitely awesome. I mean, Microprose, that is just like super duper cool. And he was feeling bad at first because he said, oh, I'm never going to get a publisher. And I know what people feel about indie devs who get publishers, but it was the right move for him. It happened at the right time. And I just hope that he's able to just celebrate it now even more. Oh no. But yeah, if he does show up, then I'll ask him and send a message out. And hello, Napalm. Konnichiwa. I am still working on. Whoa, there are conflicts. I'm still working on stopping the app so that I can. Why are there conflicts though? There shouldn't be conflicts. Display, display, display. Hours. Interesting. Yeah, I want to keep hours because I want to take all of the changes with me, but I really don't remember losing those SAS, isolated CSS. Let's keep both. Even though there's nothing in hours currently. Do I want to do that? Yeah, let's just keep what was already there. Excuse me, can you pull again? Okay, anyway, we're going to bring these changes to our branch with us anyway. So I'm going to unstage that. We are looking for the branch somehow. Here it is. Okay, we're going to check this out. Sure. Bring changes with us. Do a local commit for now. Started setting up calculator. Why are these getting checked in? Local commit, back to main. I will pull latest main. Cool, there we go. All right, so now we are organized. So I guess I may as well go ahead and commit this branch 32. And Aztec Consulting is here. It's been a while. I hope you have been doing fine, doing fantastically. Back to our current working branch. Reload. Installer. Reload. Failed to install. Oh, no. Wrong button. Just been busy. You know how it goes. Working and lurking. Absolutely. And I appreciate that so very much. Okay, so this might still be the same issue that I was having earlier with the source generator project. I have no idea what broke in it. We haven't even touched the source generator project. So I'm just going to remove the reference to it again and see if that fixes whatever the issue, or not fixes, but see if we can build because of it. So who is dependent on you? Oh my gosh, finish. This music is way too upbeat for me. I need some mellow tunes. It's good music, just not what I'm used to. While streaming, I guess. Are you gonna finish or do I need to cancel you for now? Why is calculator still in here? Oh no, that calculator should not be in here. Blazor UI components. Yeah, there are no calculator components. What are you talking about? Are you left over from a previous build? Okay, okay. So who is referencing Kindle? Oh man. Oh man. That wasn't helpful. Who is referencing the source generator? I don't remember. Here's a way to find out. Control Shift to F it. Great. I hope that's a shared packages. Finally, merge. That was scary. Someone else just submitted a PR that has the power to just push their PRs if they wanted. There it is. Wait, no, that's not it. What? Anyway, and I had a PR that was pending. That's just a small change, small PR. Project reference include. You're referencing yourself? Thindle source gen fun stuff is referencing itself. No, No, that's not how source generators work. Nice try, though. It looks like our shared library is the one that should reference this because this is an icon class generator. And our icon, no, is in shared components. Here's our icon components. So I'm thinking the reference should be in here. Pasta, save. No, don't change my formatting. Okay, are you gonna build now? Onegai. Onegai shimasu. Oh, how is my microphone volume? Good. I had to change a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing that too, Napalm. I will be doing the Azure AI, more training for the Azure AI stuff because I am planning on trying to go after the AI 200, AI 900 exam. Since we, for those of us that did the Microsoft Build Challenge, you got a free certification exam. So I need to study for it and then take it before the end of September. So I'll be doing that shortly. Awesome. You're going to go for the AZ-104. Perfect. 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 What do you think of GPT-4 for programming? Asks Memep. My answer is that it's pretty cool as far as getting you going in a direction if you don't really know which direction to go. But I still think that you should have some kind of understanding of software development in general, because it does take some discernment to know when it's just making stuff up versus when it's actually giving you helpful answers. I think that built. That built. So I had it referencing the wrong project, or I had the reference to the source generator in the wrong project. That was really, really weird. Okay, and at the moment it's not actually generating anything for us because we have not finished writing the generator, but it will. For now, we're going to get rid of this so it doesn't throw exceptions while it's trying to build. So my map says, I mean, as a full software engineer, understanding but using GPT-4 to make changes at an insane pace. I don't know that it's at an insane pace. Like I'm using Copilot and GitHub Copilot Chat as well on occasion, which has been nice, especially for generating docs, XML markup. But the thing that has helped the most has been Copilot. So not necessarily GPT-4 unless Copilot is now exclusively running on GPT-4, but I don't think it is. Running using. Live Coding says, I'm here, and you are my background noise as I work on stuff, but do not distract me. I will do my best to distract you, not distract you. I could have stayed silent, but I want you to know, one, I'm here, two, not to be bothered. No worries. Hello, Live Coding. How have you been? Tell me about your day. Tell me about your weekend. No, don't do that. You are welcome to hang out and just have me as background and have the rest of chat that I am reading as your background noise. I use GPT-4 for work every day. It's quite good and allows me to go 2 to 10 times faster depending on what I am working on. I'm onto your scheme. So yeah, again, for me, it's like definitely if you are using it in a way where you're getting code maybe from it, but you're also validating that the code is correct, well formed, the way that your team would have it, and it's maintainable as well, then totally okay. Mojo says, I have a question about Copilot. Will it add necessary files or does it only add lines of code in the current file? It only adds lines of code from what I have experienced. Boop. The thing that will add files is this thing called AutoGPT, which is still, I think, experimental, but it's pretty cool because you're essentially telling an agent to drive your GPT session, and then that agent that you're talking to uses GPT as its brain still. So you describe what you want to your agent. Your agent will have access to create files on your system, to create projects, write code, open PowerShell, run PowerShell commands, and a bunch of other stuff. GPT-4 is greater than Copilot for learning, says my map. Live Coding says, I should try Copilot for all the Terraform and YAML and scripting and whatnot, because I am very remedial at it. All. Rudimentary. Honestly, should learn how to effectively use the tool. I was hoping it could accelerate my Next.js learning. Yeah, like one thing that I would use it for is, so Copilot specifically, is if it gives me some code, which it does often, by the way, and it's often code that I want. Once it gives me code, I'll read through it. And if it's for something that I just have no clue on, like let's say that I wanted to create all of my, do I have any in here? All of my JavaScript interop. Oh, I have it there. As TypeScript. And I didn't know TypeScript. And I wanted a function for calling a C# function from JavaScript. Sure. And that's not quite what we're looking for here. Export function. Yeah. So I would start looking at stuff like this. But apparently we need .NET to be defined. So maybe it'll help me make an interface for .NET that has invoke method. Yeah, no. So it's not really helping me out as much here. Oh, wait. That did. Yeah, I don't know how to use it. But anyway, I was hoping that it would just do it for me. And then I would read it and understand it and then learn that way. But no, it didn't. So then my next step would be go to Bard, actually. Either Bard or Bing that uses a combination of some large language model and their search engines. But my last resort would be go to ChatGPT because it hallucinates a lot. A lot. So otherwise it is I who is the ineffective tool. And then Mojo says, I disagree. Your advice was super helpful and has made me more effective. Maybe I use GPT to answer it. Funny. Sag. So then Memep is saying, Copilot is like an autocomplete, very different use case than GPT-4, in my opinion. I mean, I wouldn't say very different. Like, they are both making assumptions on what it is that you're trying to do and then completing it for you. So large language models are all about, here is a response using some mathematical formula to make it seem like I am answering your question. When really it's just like, just using math to answer your question. Copilot, on the other hand, is using a trained model that is trained on a whole bunch of other repositories from GitHub to do that, to create those calculations. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. So, yes, use cases and what you use it for, not how it works. Have you used GPT-4 recently? Yes, I have. Yeah, I still do use ChatGPT regardless, but I use it more for the creative side. Or here is this thing that I know should be a thing. Give me some ideas. I'll try them. A lot of times it just doesn't work. The code that it gives me just doesn't work as a copy pasta. Okay. Okay. So anyway, feel free to continue that conversation. I will continue responding to you. Are you generating code with it or editing code? You typically I use GPT-4 when I'm stuck, so that I can figure out how do I do a thing. Like how do I use pinvoke or not pinvoke, Windows API to do some WPF window related thing? How do I use it for detecting high contrast mode? And it has been pretty good at giving me those answers. I could just as easily go to Google, regular Google or Bing, and do a search, and it's probably going to be the first search result that gives me the answer as well. The thing that I like about GPT-4 is that it summarizes answers. Same with Bard, same with Bing. Summarizes answers and then gives me a code snippet that I could potentially try without needing to go between pages and stuff. And then, of course, using ChatGPT, GPT-4 model with Bing, which I think is still disabled. Are you still disabled? Log me in. That's not the right one. Log me out. Log me in. This time with the right account. And you're probably gonna use, no, it's not two-factor. Yeah, so they say we've temporarily disabled the browse with big feature. But where are the rest of your, oh, there they are. The rest of your plugins. Okay, so then Mojo says, another question. How do I pin the line of code I'm on so I can scroll up somewhere else in code, like split screen for the same file, or even creating a new window with the same file? So I don't know how to pin actual lines of code, but for split screen, I think we can use one of my services. My services are usually pretty long. Okay, so here is a service class. So I'm pretty sure that you still have the bar up here if you just have a scroll bar instead of the navigation tree, whatever this thing is called. But you just click on that and then drag it, and that creates a vertical split. And then if you want to get rid of it, just drag it all the way back. The other thing that you could do is if you're maybe wanting to inspect the class itself. Wait, so again, if you have just a regular scroll bar and you don't have the whatever this thing is called, you should still be able to split. Oh my gosh, I am not trying to dock it at the top center. Stay. Don't make me cut you. What is it called? Navigation tree, I'm pretty sure. Navigation bar. No, not navigation bar. Scroll bars. Map mode is what it's called. So let's say that for C#, I tell it, don't use map mode, use bar mode. Then you still have the splitter. Or should still have the splitter. Unless that's part of navigation. And when I turn off navigation, it goes away too. So the base GPT-4 model is bad, by the way. Use plugins. Yeah. Definitely like using plugins. And are these... Oh, this is the response to how to do it in Visual Studio. Yeah, I still don't like just taking any question and then dumping it in and then copy pasting and saying, here's your answer. So like one of my teammates did this thing for a little while. I don't know if he's still doing it, where one of the stakeholders would ask a question. He would copy and paste that question into GPT and take the response and just copy paste it back out to them. And it's like, that's not the way that you talk, and it has way too much information. It doesn't really address what the person is asking. So there are ways to abuse GPT just by copy pasta. But then there are also the other extreme, which I'm starting to lean towards, which is not really using GPT or not really copying and pasting from GPT, even when GPT gives you a response that is a good response. Live Coding says, it just occurred to me that the browser back forward buttons, which are bound to mouse 4 and 5, can be used in text editors to hop around. Mojo Fawad, you reminded me that I don't fully understand how they work, but I use them unconsciously sometimes. I like the bookmarks window, so you can so you can have a list of bookmarks. Yeah, so Zaid is talking about. Oh wait, I wanted to turn that back on. C#, scroll bars, use map. Okay, bookmarks. I don't have my bookmarks open. That's funny. Actually, the easiest way to find just about any menu item is to use this little thingy here. Bookmark window. Control K, Control W. So if I had bookmarks, so let's say that I have a bookmark here by using the shortcut Control K, then that will show up down here, and then you can easily get to bookmarks windows or to your bookmarks from anywhere. The back and forward buttons that live coding is talking about, they're shortcuts for these back and forward buttons. So mouse 4, mouse 5. What else? What else came up? Window split also works. Window split. Yeah, so that's the same as dragging this. And what I think happens is every time you move the cursor somewhere, it pushes to the history. And then the weird one is when you're pushing the back and forward buttons, like let's say that I popped this one out, this window out, and I use the back button, like the mouse back button in this window. It's like, well, you're setting the focus to this window, and that's your current history item. And then when you push back, it's trying to take it to a location in this window. So you have to be on that window when you push the back button in order to go to the correct back window. So whichever screen is the active, whichever window is the active window, then that's where you want to use your back button. I'm pretty sure that it works just fine. Yeah, when you use the back button up here. It gets weird quickly. I don't have a good mental model of how back forward navigation works. And of course, it's slightly different across editors. So yeah. Alt night, yes. Atlanta night, yes, I do. I post my videos on the YouTubes no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream because of the Twitch affiliate agreement thing. How is that still failing? Oh gosh. Our pipelines are just being like our build pipeline is our build and release pipeline. Well, not even release. It's just our build artifacts pipeline that also signs the application. So it's a build and publish pipeline where it generates the setup file, the APPX file. And one of the steps in the build pipeline is to sign our files, and that step often fails. So I was like, is there a way for us to have the build pipeline just do the build and put all of the output files, the artifacts, into a staging directory, and then have the next pipeline be the one that signs and packs? That way, when we're doing a PR, our build is the only thing that we care about. Build and testing is the only thing that we care about passing for our PR, not the build, sign, create APPX entire thing that takes 30 minutes to an hour. Because as soon as it fails, you have to restart it, and then someone else could have already restarted another build for their pipeline. And oh, ah, oh, man. Anyway. I have a bookmarks folder that has keyboard shortcuts for tools I use regularly. Unfortunately, Microsoft's VS cheat sheet isn't thorough. Um, yeah, I love keyboard shortcuts. I don't know if you knew that. I'm pretty sure you didn't know that. Okay. Fix. Oh, I guess we can undo these. Rebuild just in case. We can keep that. Fixed reference to source gen project, so that we can build, and I'm just verifying that we can build successfully. And I can commit this for now so that we can finish our last bit of work, which is implementing the delete. The delete. So let's do that really quick. And of course, again, feel free to continue any conversation and I will do my best to respond. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Memep says it allows AK input and it's just better. Oh, for using plugins as opposed to the GPT-4, the base GPT-4 model. Cool. Cool. Are you generating code with it or editing? Yeah, I did answer that. I think I answered that. So I'm doing both. I'm editing existing code and generating code. So like right now, it should be just as good to do something like select some code and use GitHub Copilot Chat, which uses GPT-4 to improve the selected code method function, whatever. And so this is essentially the same as copying this code and putting it into ChatGPT. So that would be an example of editing existing code. But the thing that I really like doing is create document method blah. And then once it does, then you can just take that, review it, creates a new lookup item in the database. The type of lookup item is view model, the view model lookup item, the cancellation token, a response model containing the ID of the newly created lookup item. So this looks good to me. I don't need to modify this at all. This is an instance where I can just take whatever GPT-4 spits out at me, and I'm okay with copy pasta directly in. Okay, Control Z, so that I don't have any changes for now. So let's finish the delete functionality as I keep saying. It looks like I do already have some logic written. Here's the getter. Here is marking it as deleted. So there is some more logic that I want before marking it as deleted and then saving that record. So that's called a soft delete for those of you that are already familiar with it. You can just ignore me. For those of you that don't know, a soft delete is where you have a record in a database and a delete column for that record. And you set that delete column to true. Instead of deleting the record, which may have references to other tables, in other tables, so foreign key relationships and constraints, we are just marking the deleted column as true. However, the one exception to that is if I guess it would really depend on the lookup item type. So I would write some logic eventually. I'm not going to do it now. So for now, we will always delete or mark as deleted. But I would like to write some logic that says if this record has no constraint, doesn't exist. Oh my gosh. If this record is not used in other tables, then we can do an actual delete. Otherwise, mark it as deleted. But the other thing that I need to do is in add, we need to find if the record exists. Yeah, so if the record exists, then we want to check to see if it's deleted. If it is deleted, reactivate it. Otherwise, send back a message that says a record with this name already exists. So yeah, so this logic here is always going to say a record with the display text already exists if it exists in the database for that lookup, without regard to not found rec dot is deleted, or just deleted, found red. Yeah, I think we're doing it now. So in order to reactivate a deleted item, we look for the record. If the record is found and is not deleted, so another way to write that is by using null propagation. Null propagation. Otherwise, we'll create a transaction and say if, no, not. Ooh, I think I just accidentally did a thing. So I often either backspace all the way back or control shift left, but I think shift, nope, control backspace deletes word. I have not used that keyboard shortcut before and I accidentally did it just now. So you are witnessing me accidentally finding stuff that I haven't used before. that I hope will be helpful in the future. Okay, so if the record is deleted, Control backspace is a joy. One that you already knew. Awesome. It doesn't work in password fields though. Buyer beware. Wait, it's an OS wide thing. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know that, live coding. Peter. Okay, so if, and we are grabbing the record while it's attached to the database, we aren't using as no tracking. So if found rec.deleted, which means that it is a record that is deleted, that has the same name, then we're going to update deleted flag to false, last updated to datetime.now, UTC now. As I mentioned, all of my date times in the database are UTC. No last updated by. We don't care about that. There was one more field that I think I want to update, which might be sort order. Our past and data entry view model, sort order. And since it's being tracked, we should not have to mark the record as modified. We should just be able to save it. Excuse me, are you not called for retresp? Whoops. Retresp dot record count equals await context save changes async, and then update sort order. So the way that we're going to update sort order is I already have logic down here for updating sort order. So what I am going to do then is extract method, update sort order async, so that I can call it up here. And you will be plus gets. Cool. Okay, and that should be everything. So await transaction, commit async, return found rec, not found rec, retresp. Okay, and that should be all of our reactivate a deleted item logic. Cool. What I miss? And there's an equivalent on Mac OS. Who cares? I'm kidding. I've been holding Control Shift arrow to highlight and then hit backspace. Yeah. So definitely my preferred method is Control Shift blah. And then sometimes Control Alt Shift to hit the camel case and punctuation parts of the word. And then Alt Shift. This isn't a Nomax slanders. I joke about it, but hopefully it's taken as a joke. And if I am offensive, please forgive me. I don't need to be desensitive. Are you about to fail again? No, it's going. It's going fine. Okay. Text editors will behave differently, says Peter, because a word in Visual Studio is definitely different than a word in Notepad. Yeah, definitely. The worst one is SQL Server Management Studio, where when you start an open curly bracket and then you start typing and then you have stuff after it. Maybe I can show an example. But no, you're right. You are absolutely right. And then Mojo says to Peter, I know what it is by muscle memory, but I wouldn't be able to tell you the actual keystroke. I've switched between Mac and Windows for so long that my brain just knows what to do. Okay, select star from account. So let's say I was adding a field in here that's like, I don't know, sum of account ID. This is dumb. Account type ID as account type ID sum. Okay, and I wanted to put square brackets around this. So I put my first square bracket and then I push Control Shift right. It takes me to the end. So then I have to, and then I push Control Shift left and it takes me to just before the curly bracket. So it's like I have to arrow all the way to here. Or if I'm going to do this, then I start with putting the curly bracket on the end of it first and then Control Shift or Control left to the beginning of it. Anyway, just a thing that irks me about how SQL Server Management Studio treats words. Mojo says to Peter, oh, I don't hate Microsoft as much anymore. We just signed up for Microsoft CSPP. I have no idea what CSPP is, which will let us build new and amazing features. Sometimes words just escape me. I suddenly don't know how to read. Okay, we're really close on this. So I verified that the delete functionality in our server-side service is correct. Our client-side service implementation should call the HTTP endpoint API lookup / whatever for delete. So it calls it, sending it the ID of the record that we were trying to delete. And then it parses the response as a response model base of int. Cool. And on the API, if we have to use a HTTP client, say we're running in desktop, Mac OS, Android, or Blazor WebAssembly, then it will hit our lookups endpoint. And each of our lookups, like what I really need to do here to make it even more clear. Oh, we can't do this though. Dang. Oh, yeah, we can. It's just the list type itself to string. So we can do lookup list type dot, yeah, so API lookup slash slash, and we should be able to do interpolated string, right? Name of lookup list type dot that. Cool. And that should still work. This way, if we ever change the enum name, then it'll be updated on both our client side logic for calling these endpoints and in our route in the controller. Awesome. Good fix. I mean, good update. Not really a fix, just something that'll make it a little bit more predictable and reliable. Because I don't think we can use .toString, right? No, because this needs to be a constant expression, and name of is a constant expression. Because I think it gets replaced with just the member name when it compiles. Awesome. Okay, so the very last bit then is in the UI, when we click the delete button, we need to call the service for, or we need to call the lookup list state method for deleting an lookup item and lookup item. Where is that? UI. Components, list management, lookup type list, right? This is where the delete button is. This is not where the delete button is. Lookup list is the listing of lookup items. I don't remember. I don't remember how he set it up. I think this is just the list of lookup types only. Where is each individual lookup item? It's lookup list edit. Okay. Okay, whatever. Whatever, kid. And here are our delete and and edit buttons. So it's this thingy here that we are wanting to implement, which again should just be await lookup list state, delete lookup item. And you don't like that because you want the type. Even though the constraint on T lookup item view model is a thing that is an I lookup item view model. Am I doing it in other places? Handle edit clicked. How about the confirm? Handle add new. Oh my goodness. I am switching on type. Yuck. Let's go ahead and do it just to get the thing done. So we'll do item switch. And this will be pattern matching. Count type. Look up account. You still don't like that? Even though I am, oh my gosh. The only thing that we're sending is the ID. Oh, but it still does need the type. Yuck. That's even worse. Oh my goodness. And this thing isn't typed, right? Lookup list edit. Lookup list edit is not typed. I wonder if I could type it. But anyway, it should just be something like this. No? Still no? Cannot be used as a parameter. Oh. It's got to be these. Yuck. Okay, so it definitely is just like this. What did I copy? Not the right thing. Davros! Davros is here. Oh my gosh. Have you been trafficking anything lately? Anyway, how does C Sharp's pattern compare with Rust? I have no idea. I really don't know how to code in Rust. So I don't think I'll be able to give you that answer. But I don't know if you saw the way that I was doing it here. So if you know Rust, then you might be able to determine yourself. So here is my interface that I am passing into this method. So I don't know at compile time what concrete type this is. But in my switch statement, the pattern matching looks like here is the type that I'm testing against. And here is the variable that I want to assign it to if it is indeed that type. And then I'm able to use it as if this thing was cast to that type inside of the body. And I could do this as a regular switch, as a block switch. What are you called? I can't convert it. But anyway, point is, I could use it with a switch item case account type. And then inside of here, I don't even need curly braces, but I did it. In here, I now have an account type object that I'm able to use all of its actual properties of. And then, of course, if it falls through all of them, then it'll hit default case if you have one. Otherwise, it'll just keep going through without doing anything. So now that I have completely filled up my clipboard again, let's try. So I see similar expression looking thing at least. Peter says it's slowly building it like at least 5 years since I've heard of the first pattern matching stuff. Oh, so C# is slowly building up pattern matching, where you can even do stuff like or, lowercase or, some other type if you wanted. You can do and in the same way if you have a tuple or tuple to some people. Then you can have all of your patterns set up where maybe here you also have a lookup line item type item. So you're matching on both elements in the tuple, although this doesn't work in a scope like this. Huh, interesting. So you would probably need to do something more along the lines of RT when, and then have everything cast the way that it's supposed to. But you can also use underscores as any value. So lots and lots and lots and lots of cool stuff you can do with pattern matching and switch statements in C# currently. And then those are all of our lookup list types. And finally, item.id. No, we can't get to ID. And the reason we can't get to ID is because iLookup item view model does not have an ID property defined in it. It would need to be an iLookup item view model of T key. We can still use value text, and we know this is dangerous, but we know that in all cases, value text is going to be a number stored as a string. And it still doesn't like this. Oh, because we need in the white. And it still doesn't like this. Okay, I need to catch up on chat though. Hopefully C++ will get similar eventually. I went to Rust for extension methods and modules and no stupid headers and better macros. Stayed for the slick tagged union pattern match. Awesome. Then Peter said to Davros, yeah, I really enjoy the idea of Rust and I just need to get over the ownership hump. My brain has tried to fully get comfortable with it, but it just hasn't stuck. Kind of like me and NoSQL. My brain just does not think that way and I can't catch on to it. My brain is very relational database. Very relational database. And then Davros said, it takes a lot of getting used to for sure. Anyway, I should go easy on the evangelism. No, not at all. If you believe in a technology and you think that other people would benefit from it, then please feel free to share why you think so. Just don't expect people to buy into it. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. Okay, now it's in the right place and it's still angry at me. Why don't you like it? Because you are not to listening. You are just the item itself. Oh my goodness. We'll get this one day. All right, there we go. So our response is going to be a response model base of int. And what we're going to do is make sure that resp 1 is not null and 2 was not an error. So let's do it the other way. If resp, and we'll have you be default. If resp was null, is null, was null. Amin is here. Hello, Amin. If resp was null, then we're going to create a new. Actually, you know what? We'll do it this way. Resp question mark equals new with an error message. And then we'll put something more meaningful in here, but thank you, Copilot, for giving me the scaffolding of it. Then at this point, if resp was error, then we need to do something with the error, which is going to be display it. And I think I have a place to display errors on this page, right? We have an add new error. What about here? You know what, though? I am not prompting the user if they are sure they want to delete the item. Do we want that? I think I had a discussion about this before. Chat. Hello, chat. Sorry for looking away. Amin is asking, how am I? I am doing wonderful. It is a great Monday. It's a fantastic day to be a developer. I don't know if you're enjoying it as much as I am, but I really love it. And Mila's here. Hello, Mila. Oh man, you know what I have not been doing? I guess we don't really have any other streamers. So Mila, you are the first other streamer that has spoken today, at least that I'm aware of. Atlantonite, if you're a streamer, let me know. I'd be happy to shout you out. And Davros, same. So same. But since you're here, shout out to Mila Mori Games. So Mila has been learning Unity over the past couple of weeks, maybe only 1 week so far, maybe 2 weeks. And she's come so far from what I've seen. I've only watched like 3 of her streams, but definitely feel free to give her a follow, support her. because I love supporting people that are enthusiastic about learning to do dev, even if it's game development, it's whatever. I just hope you are encouraged to continue with it. Do forgive her. Her mic does have some issues. She is a little quiet on her stream, but it's an overall good stream, especially if you are wanting to help her, because she has been very receptive of anyone trying to help her with her learning journey. I don't know why I just tried to do that. I'm trying to empty my recycling bin suddenly. No idea why. So yeah, so that is Mila. Yeah, and then I didn't get anything back. Unit is easy. You just have to learn using it. But she's also learning C sharp. So not just Unity, she's learning the programming language as well. And Devros says, I'm building a Rust game engine myself, but are you streaming it? Because I would be happy to, again, follow, shout out, etc. C sharp is easy. You just have to learn to use it. Anything else? Oh, man. Speaking of, where are the other streams that I watch? Like, I don't think I even have. Oh, duh. I applied Windows updates to my computer this morning, which closed my browsers, and I'm no longer multi streaming. Apps. So I would have known that Mila is currently streaming had I been paying attention. Had I remembered to reopen this. Give me a second while I get myself set back up. I am watching Alicia Griffin, who is also learning C sharp. She is 4 to 5 months into her journey. I can't really remember. Code Rad Games is also someone that I enjoy watching them working on Roguelite. And Inamori Games. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna let that load on that screen over there. Make sure that I have volume turned up so that they get the viewership count. Awesome. No, you seem to be doing just fine, Mila. I think you're doing great. I don't stream. I swear too much when actually coding. I do too, but I don't know. Like, I use different vocabulary when I stream because there are different words that I can choose to use that, people are more generally okay with. Like, I have no problem with profanity because it is just other vocabulary that you can use to describe the same thing. Like if you're saying, oh, poop, it's the same as saying the other word. It's just that it's reasonably expected that there will be people that are offended by that kind of vocabulary, that choice of language. So I choose to use different words. But if I am just coding by myself and making many mistakes, especially, then there are lots of different words that come out of my mouth. Lots and lots. Okay, so one thing that I just said is when we push the delete button, I am just telling it to delete. I'm not even prompting the user, are you sure you want to delete this record or this item? And I'm sure, as I mentioned before, that I had a discussion with you slash myself slash rubber ducks about whether I wanted to show a dialogue. I guess the first thing we can do is check to see if I do have a delete dialogue. I don't. Yeah, it would be right here. So for now, we're just going to implement it by deleting directly. So we have already done that. Instead of calling this then add new error, we will call this response errors. error. Sure, response error. Or we will keep it add new error, and we will use this underscore response because the underscore response is for both the edit and the delete. So let's use underscore response. So for now, underscore response equals new, N-E-U-W-N-E, and if there was an error, I'll solve it. We will do underscore response dot add errors response, turn editing off, and return. Actually, we will also, let's just return because I'm pretty sure it'll re-render. Otherwise, it was successful. So we will remove that item from our current list of items. And actually, what I think I would prefer to do is refresh our list of items. You cannot await void. Huh? How are you void? Oh, because I'm using lookup list cache. Okay, sure. Why not? Then we would just refresh items and then await. Hello, Barbarasso. How are you doing on this fantastic, whatever day it is? Invoke Monday, async. Monday, July 17th, 2023. Invoke async, invoke async. Exactly what I wanted to do, Copilot. Thanks. Peter said, I legit got my laptop in a blue screen loop through recent updates, and I had to do some wizardry to recover. We don't have OS snapshots on. Anyway, I survived after losing roughly half a day on it. Well, at least you didn't lose data. It's always a good day when you don't lose data. All right, and now I am also watching Dragon Spirit Games. And that is my 4 streams that I typically concurrently watch. I mean, I usually only have 4 streams in my multi-stream. Multi-stream. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, so this is how I lurk during the day. And every now and then I will tune into one person's stream and be active. Amin greeted Baba Russell. Yay! My PR merge build was finally successful. Now I can delete my branch, go back to pull requests, and wait for any new pull requests. Cool. Okay. So delete should be implemented now. The end. If this works, then we have finished all of the functionality of the application. So we will verify that delete works, and then we'll verify that re-adding the item also works. No, what am I doing? There is one thing that I did not mean to do. Oh, which should be fine because I did end up doing refresh items. Earlier, I had delete from underscore items when we do a delete, but I am only marking records as deleted. So it would stay there. I would just update the deleted flag. It doesn't get updated automatically. Which one? This part where I'm doing await invoke async change, state is changed. No, it doesn't get deleted automatically is what the message says. It does. So as soon as you click, it will delete. And so the reason that I'm doing soft delete is, for example, a credit card account type is associated with accounts already. So if I delete credit card, I don't also want to delete the associated account. Instead, I want to mark credit card as deleted so you can't create any new accounts using credit card account type. So delete. Awesome. We have an actual crash. You were supposed to handle the crash. It says not implemented exception. That's a lie. Lookup list state. I forgot to go to lookup list state to see if it's implemented. Shh, don't tell them. It's not implemented. Oh my goodness. Okay, what do we have? We have var resp equals await lookup list, lookup item. Aha. T lookup item view model item. In lookup list state, we can have it do whatever we want. Since we're not sharing it on the client and server, we're doing this on client only. So I'm going to update the signature for lookup list state, delete, to use lookup item view model, which means that you are now implementing it correctly. And we can keep passing down lookup item view model. I don't know what just happened there. I hit copy, please. Pasta. And you're going to be lookup item.I. Oh, come on. You still don't have ID? Oh, you need to be async. And you need to be a countertop. I don't know. I can't think of anything funnier than that. You're just called item. That's what's going on here. Okay. And then once again, item. We don't have ID because we're constraining our lookup item view model generic to an I lookup item view model, or and I has item lookup, or I has lookup list type, which is fine because we can guarantee that if we're doing lookups, it's going to be an int. So int.parse parts is this item value text. And if we wanted to, we could do some validation where we first check to see, can we parse value text out to an integer? If not, return an error that says this is bupkis. Hey. Hey. Doing good so far. So let's update our call to this really quick, which is in lookup list edit. And instead of int.parse for all of you, we are going to pass the item itself. And the cool thing about passing it this way is we should just be able to use one call to it now. Come on. Oh. No, you still want the generic? Wait, I thought we just changed you to use lookup item view model. Is it because this is an I lookup item view model? Must be a non-abstract with a public. Okay. So I'm also constraining it to a class that has a default constructor. Makes sense. So all of these item.value text just become item. Which I can't do that anymore. Now these have to be Yeah, we'll do it this way. Come on, brain. Keep up. Keep up. Use the force. No, we still need. Oh, it'll be less to get through. Let's do it like this. Duplicate arrows, await. Get rid of this. Yeah. Ah, I went over too fast. We still need to. Yeah, let's just call UC item for now. There we go. This should work. Nope, not yet. Still one more thing. Need to get rid of one of these. There. Okay. And then your item. Okay, so switch item. That was a little bit brain. Yeah. You forgot to import use brain power. Thank you. That was a little bit hard for me to fully come up with. But what we're doing here is we are immediately casting to the concrete type so that we could directly use it in the call. Oops. The method, to the generic method, so that it knows what generic type we need. I don't know what that is at the moment, but we will figure it out shortly. For now, let's finish implementing the lookup list state. So cool. We have this as its concrete type. We can now call our service with lookup item view model because we know what lookup item view model is. We still have to parse value text. Even though we know that the T key on it is going to be an int, I could just specify that here, but then I'd need to specify that everywhere else. So I'm gonna just keep it like that. All right. So delete lookup item. What is this? Find the lookup item in our list of cached lookup items. If it doesn't exist, fetch it from the server. If there was an error, add that error to the thingy here. Or if it couldn't be found in the database. Yeah, so even more reason for me not to do a hard delete even if the item is not in use. We will always mark as soft delete. And then we will add that item to data. Otherwise, yeah, we can keep all this. This is good logic. Otherwise, oops, we have found the item in our cache, so we need to update the deleted flag and set it equal to our passed in lookup item view models deleted flag. No, not our passed in models lookup flag. The response, it will always be marked as deleted. That's what the deal is. Okay. Because this is a delete method. And then we'll notify anyone that's listening that the lookup item cache has changed, which means that in our edit form, we are already listening to changes using this method and refreshing. Okay, so it's not actually refreshing the list, but we could do that. So if, no, that was what I wanted. Why did you change? That was exactly what I wanted. If it is the lookup item cache property, we want to refresh items, and then we always want to invoke state as changed. So we don't need to manually refresh here. Okay, so what happened to you? Lookup list state.delete should give me back. Oh, these are tasks. I forgot to keep the await keyword. Paying attention. All right, so everything else should be good to go. Now, this time, we are implemented, so we will not throw a new not implemented exception. Instead, we will perform the logic for marking whatever record we send to be deleted as deleted, although it looks like we're not building. Lookup item does not exist in the current context. Lookup list state 177. Fine. Save. Rebuilt. Haha. Built successful. You can see the app refreshing in the background. Delete credit card. Nope, that was edit. Delete credit card. I think it was successful. Delete account types 3, response, record ID 3, record count 1. Let's go check the database for account types. View data. Record ID 3, deleted. I need to, it is updating. Okay, I was going to say I need to update the last updated, but it did update. Cool. So delete works. We did not refresh the list like we were supposed to. Or my list does not exclude deleted when I'm printing it out. Let's check that first. For item in items. Where items is just give me all lookup items. So I need to either filter out deleted records when printing them out, or have some kind of visual update indicating here are your items that you have marked as deleted, so that you can just re-enable them that way. So right now, yeah, it's gone now. So let's delete cache as well. Cool. So it updates immediately as soon as it's successful. And then if we re-add cache, item already exists. No, we updated the logic. Dang it. Lookup item service. Here are some changes. Create item if not found rec.deleted. That's when we say a record with the display text already exists. Stable diffusion? Is that what your SD is? What is your SD? There are so many SD. Standard definition for your resolution or for your display. Quality is the word I'm looking for. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. So we are finding the record. We're checking to see if the record is not deleted. We'll default it to true because if the record is not found, let's call it deleted. That way, if we're adding a brand new item, it's not going to care. Ooh, I guess, is this happening on the client before it's even trying to do the add? This is probably client validation. What are we looking at? This, create. Here it is. Okay, so if items any where not deleted and. Okay, so I am adding in the check to see when we're looking through our cache list of items, is it one that is already deleted or not? Or not? Super Dinosaur. SD cards. The little ones. I didn't know that SD stood for Secure Digital, so thank you for hyping out the explanation. I like silent drums though. Soylent drums. The little ones can melt in the shadows of hell. Why? I like mine. Like the one that's in this thing is a 1 terabyte SD card. Okay, try again. There it goes. There it goes. And now there are 2 instances of cache because the logic on the lookup list state dot add says always add it to the lookup item cache. So what I would like to do then is say, let's look for the existing item, which will be the same logic that we use down here for getting an individual item. There we go. And actually, you know what? Let's make this a method. No. Sometimes my down arrow key is stuck over here in the sub menu. All right, so extract method get lookup item singular. And instead, yeah, I think we'll keep it like this. I don't like that, but we'll keep it like this for now. Okay, so get lookup item. An item is a way to get lookup item singular using lookup item. Which is currently a TLOOKUP item. Why are you angry at this? Because it's expecting a cancellation token. Got it. which I don't have a cancellation token up here. Okay. What am I missing? I'm missing a lot. I mean, says me too. They're very useful. Bob Ross said, because my brother's one corrupted and it had a bunch of photos on it. Now they're all gone. Technology at its finest. And son 122012 is here. My girlfriend broke up with me and I have no motivation to code or anything. Need some advice. So I am not good at giving advice on relationships or how to overcome. I don't even know if overcome is the right word. How to process the events that have just happened to you. I do feel bad for you that that happened. So I am sorry for that part of it. However, regarding motivation for coding, number one, take your time processing. So that I can tell you. Number one is take your time processing the events that happened and take care of yourself. This will affect your mental health, your emotional health. Don't ignore it. It's something that actually happened, and yeah, sometimes you just need to feel it. Sometimes you need to talk through it with somebody that is better at talking about these types of things than I am. But take your time processing it. Then that's when you can start looking at, all right, now how do I get back into coding again? Because if you don't process the trauma, and I hope it's okay that I'm calling it trauma because it is. It's a traumatic event that happened to you. If you don't process that, then you're going to be stuck in just about anything else you do. It is going to be a blocker for motivation, for just finding the overall meaning of anything. So I haven't had very many breakups myself, just one really, really big one. And I know how that affected me. And yeah, I buried it. I did unhealthy things with it. So I would encourage you to not ignore it. The thing here is that I have an internship with German company that I need to study. Okay. Still, still, while you are just doing, so I know that this one is a hard recommendation because it works for me, it doesn't work for everyone. Regardless of how you feel about your motivation, if you are already engaged and what's the word I'm looking for? You are, hold on. Let me finish writing this and then I will talk to you directly about it. Is not is null. Let's start with the is null case. All right, let's start with the is not null case. Or we could do that. I don't like that. If found item is not null, then we will found item dot deleted. Wait, this returns a response model? If found item dot data is not null, then we can found item dot data dot deleted. Actually, you know what? Let's do it the way that I was recommending. Let's do lookup item cache dot delete. No, I still don't like that. Let's do dot data dot deleted equals false, because it will always be false if we are reactivating it. Else, if it is null, then that means it's not in our cache currently. So let's add it to our cache and then return. Okay, so that should fix that. And that way we don't have this duplicate issue. So once we add credit charge back, actually, you know what? I think I spelled that one correctly. Credit card. We don't get 2 of them back in the list. Why did we still get 2 of them back in the list? We weren't supposed to get 2 of them back in the list. Why can't I alt tab back to you? Okay, so San12212 or 312212. Anyway, when you are engaged in something that you have already agreed to doing and it's business related, you are telling someone else, I'm going to participate in this internship in your case, or someone else says, I accept this employment job. Personal things happen to you that might interfere with your ability to perform. So you still need to make sure that you are taking care of that thing, that you're responding to it, that you are paying attention to it, you're not just discarding it. At the same time, if you have the ability to just do, and the way that I just do when I have trauma, emotional stress, anxiety, it's mostly anxiety for me, is I tell myself that I agreed to do this thing. I said that I was going to do this thing, so I'm going to do it. And it'll cause me stress, it'll cause me frustration. I won't do it as good, but I will still be doing it. At the same time, what I am doing now, which I used to not do, is I'm paying attention to the thing that's causing the trauma, the stress, the frustration, the anger. Yeah, basically, I call them mean. But the biggest thing that I want to make clear is don't ignore it. I mean, for some people, they will say, get over it. It's a breakup. You're going to find other people. But to you, it's however hard it's affecting you is going to be different than the way that it might affect me. Or someone else that is like, it was just a girlfriend. It's not the end of the world. But take it the way it affects you. And yeah, especially that one. I mean, oh man, when people say that, take it the way that it affects you, process it, and yeah, release it. Oh, I have a deadline and I have to release it next month. Yeah, so that's where if you can, and I know it's hard for some people, it's kind of like compartmentalizing where when you are doing your work mode stuff, do your work stuff. That's when you can set aside this thing that happened to you. But when you're done doing your work stuff, because I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, that you have a work day where you stop at a certain point, or there are times when you aren't working on the project normally. Take that time to process what happened. I don't recommend medicating over it. That's what I did. I medicated using alcohol. Not a good idea. If you have a healthy balance of setting it aside while you do your work and then also processing it when you aren't doing your work, then you might be able to manage. Now, if you do need extra, I would recommend talking to someone first. And if you are going to do pills, then talk to a medical professional that will prescribe you the right pills if it's appropriate. But I wouldn't recommend deciding for yourself because in this point in time when you are being affected by something like that, you won't necessarily be making the best decisions for yourself. You'll be making the decisions to get through it right now, which in the long run might not be a good decision. And that's my TED talk. Okay. Bob Ross all the way up here. All I can say is that SD cards are poop. Let's see. Amin responded, I think was in the conversation with Sun, which is positive as you'll be forced to code so you don't waste time focusing on the past. Yeah, so that's one thing. It's like, I'm not saying completely try to drown it out by doing something productive because sometimes you aren't even able to do the productive thing because it's so loud, but set it aside so that you can do the thing that you said you were going to do and also pay attention to it, process it when you aren't doing the work. Great advice from Papa Rosso, which is that SD cards are poop, I think. Mila says, nice advice. Be a man. Then Bob Ross said, how about I be an Apache attack helicopter? Heck yeah. Or an A1 Abrams tank. Deflex says, I agree. That's why I'm on Twitch whilst clocked in. For the support. Or prayers. Yeah. So if a spiritual path works for you, meditation, prayer, remember that those are tools that you could use if that is in your life. And Deflex is here. Hi, Deflex. But that is going to be the end of my stream today. I am pretty sure that we are successful. I am not exactly sure why we still got a duplicate item, but we will figure that out on Wednesday. But I'm pretty sure that we are done with the delete functionality. The one that is giving us a little bit of trouble is when we are reactivating a deleted item. It's showing up in our list twice, even though it only exists once. So it's when we are re-adding a deleted item to our cache, which should be this logic here, where if we found the item, then we are just going to update the deleted. Otherwise, if we didn't find it, we're going to add it. So maybe this is coming back as null, and that's where the issue is, but we'll find out on Wednesday. That's mine, Papa Rosso. Get your own. Oh, I mean, I just need to add more, don't I? I need to make it more interactive. But that's going to be it for my day. Like I said, we'll come back to this on Wednesday. It should be the very last thing that we need to do as far as the logic. We'll finish up the calculator on Wednesday as well. Oh, and I'll go ahead and do a commit for these changes. Completed the delete logic. So this will be on GitHub on the server. So you have the latest copy there. So feel free to check it out on the project site. Again, I will be posting this video to the YouTubes no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream, because Twitch affiliate agreement stuff. And you are always welcome and invited to our Discord, where we have tons of really, really amazing people that are happy to help you with any questions you might have. Other people ask questions and are looking for help. So if you like helping people, then you might enjoy being there as well. And yeah, that is it for me. So I'm going to look over to my list of people that I'm currently watching. And I'm also going to look on Discord to see my history of who I have rated recently, so that I don't rate the same person over and over. I have short-term memory. Let's see, we rated Code Warrior. You in date order? Okay, so we rated Code Warrior. We got rated by BitGamey. We rated Simple Game Dev. We got rated by Ms. Pixie. We rated Solus Ellipsis, Irish John Games, C# Fritz, Code Rad, Dragon Spirit. So the person that we have not rated recently that I am currently lurking on their stream, and they might know it, is, drum roll please. I mean, no fair. I mean, you jump to the punchline. Settlix, who's a really cool guy. He is doing Unity game development on his RPG. Anyway, on his game, but he has a lot of interactivity on his stream. He is pretty high energy sometimes, but he's also laid back at the same time somehow. I think it's mostly just because all of the interactions on his stream make a lot of noise. So if you're not into being bombarded with a lot of noise at the moment, then you don't have to continue on with us. Otherwise, feel free to join us as we head on over to Sedalix's channel. Again, I'll be back on Wednesday. He has a Rubik's face. Yeah, he has a AI thing. Anyway, I'm going to start waving so that I can sign off. All right, it's going. I had to get it started this time. Running a little low on energy. But there it goes. Once it starts going, it's perpetual. And actually, when I end the stream, it's still going for like at least 20 more minutes. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next time. And yeah, see you over on Sedalix's channel.